The situation with forests is actually quite complex because the definition adopted by this convention is a definition that qualifies as forests any collection of trees. In this very place we see a forest according to the through the eyes of the UNFCCC. This is a forest, but to any normal, sensible, slightly educated person, this would be just a grove, a plantation, a nice garden, or whichever else. The only fauna you have here are these ducks behind me on this pond, and a couple sparrows and a few gulls trying to get something to eat. But the trees are completely all about the same age, all about the same species, and they all were planted. So a forest, and if you see that there's no undergrowth, and in a forest you see a very complex situation. Even in these latitudes, we are really up 50 degrees north or something, and if you go to a real forest in this area, you'll see all kinds of organisms working here in the middle of the winter to preserve the soil or to increase soil fertility. This is not really happening in a plantation. And the forests the FCCC refers to can be just a plantation of an exotic monoculture, and even a genetically modified plantation of trees genetically modified. If you look at a forest, for instance, in one of those nature films, you see the Amazon, which is one of the most complex biological systems. You'll realize that there is a very, very large diversity of different tree species, but also a very thick undergrowth. There is a tremendous amount of fauna. Actually, the largest number of species of mammals lives in the tropical forests, and other, of course, amphibians and reptiles. And you realize that this is not what this convention is talking about. They're just talking about the carbon value of a forest. They're not talking about the carbon cycling potential or role of these old growth or secondary forest even in the carbon cycle. The carbon cycle is what maintains the situation of the greenhouse effect that the atmosphere has in our planet. And if you just have a plantation that will support which focus is only the absorption of carbon, you'll be depriving the world, the planet, and the atmosphere of that system to maintain the cycle of carbon. Not too much in the atmosphere and not too little in the atmosphere. Not too little in biomass and not too much in biomass. So it's a very complicated balance that we as human beings are proposing to recreate. So the best option to maintain the different natural stocks of carbon, be it that of the atmosphere and that of the biosphere, would be to preserve forests for that very merit, and not because they will absorb all the carbon that we wasted into generating energy for very different motives, but be it the main motive just to increase consumption of just any kind of good.